They that rise up against me, oh Lord, many are they that say, oh me, that's no help for him. He can bow down, oh Lord. You are a shield for me, my glory, hey, and a business is settled. Your academics is settled. Your life is settled. Your health is settled. Anything concerning you is settled. That court case, I am a son. It's settled. It is settled. Your ministry is settled. Can you bet in tongues? Your presence saved. Whatever is unsettled in your life, whatever gives you sleepless night, I prophesy in the name of God that it is settled. It is settled. It is settled. It is settled. Every dispute in the realms of the spirit, it is settled. Any curse upon your life, we break it and say it is settled. Jesus paid a price 2,000 years ago. It is settled. It is settled. He said, I am finished. So it is settled. 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 Your presence. Your presence. Listen. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. My marriage is settled. My children are settled. My future is settled. Destiny is settled. Destiny is settled. Destiny is settled. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am Your presence with me, come on, it's more than a, oh Lord, this thing, Mashada Kandema Kondobo, Eredema Kosantaka, Amakoshende Kete Maranda. All I need is your presence. Your presence makes a difference. Oh, it's more than 1,000. Destiny is settled. Oh, 1,000 shall fall on your side, 10,000 on the right hand side, and shall never come near you. Why? Oh, my Shanda Katoba. are they that rise up against, oh Lord. Many are they that say, oh me, that's no help for him. In God, bow down, oh Lord. You are a shield for me, my glory, and a Can I prophesy to you? Your marriage is settled. Your business is settled. Your academics is settled. Your life is settled. Your health is settled. Anything concerning you is settled. That court case, I am a son. It's settled. It is settled. Your ministry is settled. Can you back in tongues? I'm not going to share the kataya. Your presence, hey. Your presence brings more than 1,000 against me. This thing is set. Hey. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am faithful. Hey. My life is settled. My blessing is settled. My ministry is settled. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am favored. Yes, I am Whatever is unsettled in your life, whatever gives you sleepless night, I prophesy in the name of God that it is settled. It is settled. It is settled. It is settled. Every dispute in the realms of the spirit, it is settled. Any curse upon your life, we break it and say it is settled. Jesus paid a price 2,000 years ago. It is settled. It is settled. He said, I am finished. So it is settled. 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 Your presence. Your presence. Listen. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I My marriage is settled. My children are settled. My future is settled. Destiny is settled. Destiny is settled. Destiny is settled. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am Your presence with me, come on, it's more than a, oh Lord, this thing, Masada Kandema Kondobo, Eredema Kosantaka, Amakoshende Kete Maranda. All I need is your presence. Your presence makes a difference. Oh, it's more than 1,000. This thing is settled. Oh, 1,000 shall fall on your side, 10,000 on the right hand side, and shall never come near you. Why? Oh, my Shanda Katoba. day that rise up against, oh Lord, many a day that say, oh me, that's no help for him. He can bow down, oh Lord. You are a shield for me, my glory, hey, and the lifter of my head. You are a shield for me, my glory, and the Quarter. is settled. Your health is settled. Anything concerning you is settled. That court case, I am a son. It's settled. It is settled. Your ministry is settled. Can you bless in tongues? Your presence, hey! Whatever is unsettled in your life, whatever gives you sleepless nights, I prophesy in the name of God that it is settled. It is settled. It is settled. It is settled. Every dispute in the realms of the spirit, it is settled. Any curse upon your life, we break it and say it is settled. Jesus paid the price 2,000 years ago. It is settled. It is settled. He said, I am finished. So it is settled. 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 Your presence. Your presence. Listen. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hey. This thing is settled. This thing is settled. My marriage is settled. My children are settled. My future is settled. This thing is settled. This thing is settled. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am blessed. Yes, I am favored. Your presence with me. Come on. It's more than a this thing, Masada Kandema Kondobo, Eredema Kosantaka, Amakoshende Kete Maranda. All I need is your presence. Your presence makes a difference. Oh, it's more than 1,000. This thing is settled.
Tena mifana Yehowa si Woniao Yema mita
Tena mifanshe Yehowa nemo
Atramansenina Meshiranidi Medina Dansi Wonia Yemameda Memani Kwanchi Kuruwani So Nama Boniti Atramasena Meshirani Din Na Medina Dansi Bonia Oh yeah, Mameda Say it again. It's a man in Kwaji. Kuru Wanisu. Nama Panidin. Achaman Sena. Come on, say, man in Kwaji. Nama Boni, Nidina Tramansenina. Say, Gloria, oh yeah, Gloria, say, Gloria, man in Kwaji, Kuru Wanisu, na Mama Bonidi, Atra Mansena, for all that he's done for me. Me Shiranidi, Medina Dansi, Wania, Oye Mamita, Me Shiranidi, Medina Dansi, oh, Wania, oh, yeah, Mamita.
Oh, my darling, it's not easy. It is hard to do.
Yes.
Now, all those saying it is not easy, it is hard to do, it is not easy, it is hard to do, I understand. But if you will avail yourself to be taken through the process of teaching of the Bible, the new kingdom you want to belong to is a kingdom of forgiveness.
Then it means being a Christian and walking like Christ. It's
That
not
is
easy
why
at all.
I get angry, because being a Christian is not because you are driving cars.
Okay.
Not because you have built houses. Not because you have a fat bank account. Because non-Christians have all these. This is what makes a Christian because our kingdom is a kingdom born out of forgiveness.
Ha. So if you can't forgive, like the Lord's Prayer says, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive.
I
it's
want
a
to tell you
condition.
from today, don't pray that prayer if you can't forgive.
So it means forgive every sin at all.
It's yours not being forgiven.
Wow. Yeah.
It is okay to hurt. So it says, be angry, but don't let the sin. So
go down.
anger is necessary. But what you do when
With the
angry
anger. Yeah.
is what convicts you and condemns you.
Wow.
Oh, my darling, it's not easy. It is hard to do.
Yes.
Now, all those saying it is not easy, it is hard to do, it is not easy, it is hard to do, I understand. But if you will avail yourself to be taken through the process of teaching of the Bible, the new kingdom you want to belong to is a kingdom of forgiveness.
Then it means being a Christian and walking like Christ. Wow, welcome to Time with Mommy and Daddy. We are so sorry for the late start. It was beyond circumstances, beyond our control. So I'm sorry, and we are sorry. We want to still continue with what we've been talking about for almost a week now, forgiveness. And today we are going to zero in on forgiveness in relationship and in marriage. Because yesterday we broached the topic a little bit and it was interesting, getting interesting with a lot of questions. We want to welcome our father, the visionary, the apostle of the house, Abraham Lamptey.
Thank you for having me, and good afternoon to you, our viewers. It's wonderful coming your homes again, and we apologize for the late. We're working on things. The TVs hasn't come yet. I know they are in transit. They will definitely arrive. The cameras and all the gadgets needed, I know. You love us, so you will help us get all, so we give you the best than ever.
Yesterday we were left with one question, and I want us to discuss it
Is it
a
one
bit.
or about 5?
Yeah, about 5, but today we are just going to depend on one from your son. Is closure good when forgiven? Should we always seek for reasons as to why the act was executed? Or do we just go straight to forgive without knowing that? Like I was asking yesterday,
Yes.
It's not finished, please. Some cases, he's unable to fully forgive until he gets closure.
Okay.
No matter how hard it is with closure, he's able to forgive.
Okay.
But he wants to know if it's supposed to be so all the time.
All right, let me answer. Since our foundation is based on the Bible. I just want to ask, where did we apologize before he decided to forgive and come and die for us? And then it went further to say, if you confess that you are a sinner, but he did not ask for you to tell the sin you committed. Just say, I am sorry, I accept my fault. Forgive me. Now, I have been saying that forgiveness is a choice that heals you faster.
Okay.
Unforgiveness is a choice that makes you sick forever. So when somebody, whether the person means it or not, if you have forgiven yourself, you will not look out whether the person has genuinely repented or not. You move on with your life.
Okay.
So to my son, closure is necessary, but as a believer, sometimes we offend people without knowing that we have offended them. And when they mentioned it, because it wasn't intentional, apologizing becomes weird. You're like, oh, I didn't mean to do you evil. But if it is, I'm sorry. Now, in that expression, you will end up thinking the person is not serious. But yes, the person is. But the person did not know that what he or she did would have offended you. And most of the times, we expect things that normally does not offend us not to offend others. But we have different temperaments. So what will offend me may not offend you.
Yeah.
And what will offend you may not offend me. But when it comes to forgiveness, it is universal. So my son, you don't always need closure from the person.
But sometimes you
have
need
closure for yourself. Then the apology will be accepted genuinely and forgiveness will be genuine. If you don't have closure for yourself, you will expect the person's closure before you accept your closure.
Do you necessarily have to, talk to somebody for the person to apologize before you forgive, or you can forgive even without somebody
The very moment you
apologizing?
realize that you have been offended, forgive yourself. Remember, I have been saying from last week, Friday, that you must first forgive yourself. And if you don't forgive yourself, no amount of apology can heal you.
If you don't forgive yourself, no amount of apology can heal.
No amount of apology.
Okay. So I want us to broach this topic a bit because we don't have too much time. We are talking about it briefly. Forgiveness in relationship.
Oh, let me also say this. When you forgive, don't go about telling people what the person did to you and the forgiveness you have offered. You haven't forgiven. I repeat, never advertise your forgiveness. There will be a demand for the offense. And as you tell people the offense, one of two people will try to fuel it to anger you the more. Hey, minkue, bao, meneno kekele ne basa efeko. But if you have forgiven, close that chapter. You don't need telling anybody. Sometimes you end up hurting those who came to apologize the more by telling people what it is that they did to you and how they came apologizing. One dangerous thing is when you go about telling people and they came apologizing and he came begging and she came begging. What you are doing is you have not forgiven. You were just looking for an opportunity to advertise yourself and to show off that, yes, you are.
So when somebody apologizes to you, you don't go around telling people.
No. You don't go around telling people.
Okay.
No.
How about the people knowing what happened? They were there and all that happened.
Yes, they were there, but they were not the ones offended. You are the one that was offended. And you have forgiven.
Okay.
You owe them no explanation, no reason for forgiving.
Okay. All right. So we are talking about forgiveness in relationship. In relationship, in marriage, how often should one forgive the other?
I can't place a number on it. Always. Always. In fact, from the day you say I do, start forgiving from that moment.
So when you become the forgiving one, sometimes the person doesn't feel that he or she is hurting you and does the same things over and over and over again. Yesterday we talked about it, that these things destroy the mental health of individuals. I went into the psychiatric hospital in Accra some time ago. A friend of mine was admitted there. She had been hurt so much by her husband. Everybody has a capacity for what they can take. This lady couldn't take it, and she went into the psychiatric hospital with a psychiatric problem. How often should you be at the receiving end all the time for you to get into that point that your mental health is disturbed?
Not everybody shows signs of offense. And not everybody also shows signs of anger. So there are people, they won't let you know you have offended them. And there are those who would not let you also know they are angry. It is one thing to be offended. It is another thing to be angry.
How about this person is always angry, tells the person, talk about the offense. But because, like I said yesterday, we've been wired to think that you go into marriage once and you can't come out. And so you receive that abuse over and over again. Something is trending on social media with this young man, Kofi Adoma. He was talking about his wife, how enduring, or the capacity she has endured from him, the things he has done for 19 years. He had gotten women pregnant, but the wife was still, the wife loved it.
Now who is taking the glory?
She is taking the glory.
Praise God.
Yes, but please hold on.
There is always a crown.
Yes, but
I have fought the good fight.
she has the capacity.
My darling, when you become born again, you don't carry your old identity. Hello, we are talking with a Christian background now.
Yes, so once you're a Christian, your mental health
The
should be
process. Don't just become a Christian. Bram. Remember, I told you, avail yourself to be taught. Do you know that if you allow parents to choose your partner for you, they will know the person better than you? I told you it is okay to copy. But what?
You copyright.
Thank you.
But
So, I listened to Kofi's, good comments he made about the wife, and even sometimes he wants to show her, but she will say no,
yeah.
no. That is her temperament. Are you getting me? That is her temperament. What about those who are not like that? Not all women can handle what she has handled.
I wish that a lot of men will write their comments, because their thoughts on this. We are speaking to Christians and non-Christians alike. I read comments from the post, and many of the women were happy. They want a miracle. The lady is called Miracle. They want a miracle like
So
her.
that is a signal to women that don't only pray for a husband.
So you should take all the excesses as a
wait a
wife
minute.
material, 1,000 years. That makes your wife
I
material.
said something yesterday and somebody dashed me 1,000 cedis.
Okay.
I'm going to repeat.
Okay.
You are coming from our inside to make us. So you know us better than ourselves. If you don't patiently help us become who you knew inside, you will mess us up. Hello?
So let me ask you this.
Ask.
As a wife, a Christian wife, does it mean you shouldn't hold your husband, or as a Christian husband, you shouldn't hold your Christian wife to accountability? Forgive anytime. Just forgive and continue to forgive everything they do. You forgive because you need to pray. Is that it?
Then I'll quote you what Jesus said to Peter. How many times?
77 times 7.
Thank you. Has it reached that yet?
It hasn't.
Because the Spirit gives you the capacity. That is why He is telling you this is how much you must forgive. When you marry by the world standard, you lose the word protection.
Yesterday we talked about Osinachi.
Yes.
She forgave 77 times 7, but ended
She
up
did
in the
not
grave.
forgive. She feared what society will say. So she did not voice it out for the man to be corrected for her.
Okay.
Don't misinterpret Osinachi's act to mean forgiveness. Fear of pastors who will rebuke her, fear of society. You heard it all. So, my darling, everybody's disease has a drug that can cure it.
Okay. Okay.
So every man has somebody he fears.
Yes.
Every woman has somebody she fears.
Yes.
So in the repetition, but let me tell you something, the number of times you uncover your husband will determine the number of times he will be called mad.
Can you explain that, please?
The number of times you sell your husband out there will be the number of times, the number of people you have sold him to will sell him the more.
Okay.
So when it comes to forgiveness, the Spirit has what it takes. And as you forgive, the Spirit works not only on you, but also on the one that keeps offending you. And as time goes, that person changes. And then you become the praise in his or her mouth, like Kofi did yesterday.
So my issue...
When growing up, wives were enduring. Today...
Wow.
No, check it. When growing up, wives were enduring and they had more hope and belief in their marriage that was not educated like our time. And their marriages lasted. Today that we are educated, you lack endurance. We lack discipline. For endurance makes you disciplined. And because the women lack endurance, the men are not disciplined.
This is very serious and strange. My questions, I want to ask some serious questions, but I'm restraining myself a bit.
No.
I'm
please.
restraining myself because...
Don't restrain, please.
I'm restraining myself because...
Somebody may be in that state.
I want the women to send in their questions.
Women.
But they are not
Never.
sending in their questions. I was reading comments, under this Kofi Adomah-Nweni's issue. And most of the women feel that the lady does not have the capacity.
Don't go ahead. They are the modern day women. They are the modern day women without the original principles of a wife. Wait, do you think... No, now let me warm up. Do you think look, programs manager, where are you? Do you think Sarah just got up and gave Hagar to Abraham?
No, he was eyeing her already.
She might have noticed something.
Yeah.
She might have noticed that Abraham has been eyeing this girl. So to help him not to be a thief.
So because women should endure, I ask again, should the men not be, held accountable for their actions? Should we endure as women, or men endure excesses of the men because we are believers?
I will say it again and again and again.
Please say it as many times.
The name of the drink is not determined by the bottle. It is determined by the name of the alcohol or whatever content in it. Am I right?
Yes.
So we are men because we came from the women.
Okay.
So you make us. We don't make ourselves.
Okay.
If you don't endure to make us, we will not endure to be disciplined. Today, look at Kofi. He is all over the place. But he is giving the glory to the wife who endured. I believe strongly that the wife had a matured woman somewhere whom she consulted. Listen to me. If you are a young lady, you just got into marriage, or you are not yet 50 years, and you don't have a woman above 65 whom you go to for counsel, get yourself ready for crisis.
Somebody said, most of our mothers endured because of the children and not because they wanted to be in the relationship.
Now we are talking about marriage.
Yes,
What
yes.
makes marriage?
The husband, the wife,
What was the reason for marriage?
children,
You are wrong. He said, let us make a help
companionship, companionship. is-
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So anything that comes out of your union is just an icing on the cake.
Yes.
Men change when they lose attention. When they lose the name a man, they will change.
So men do not lose their manhood or anything, but it's just a them because they have been taught that women have
Not
women should
that they have
se-
been taught.
That's what
It
they
is
saw.
something in the DNA of every man.
That's
Even if a man calls himself a woman and turns everything to be a woman and look like a woman, when that woman, Kojo Besia, is fighting another woman, look at him. I didn't say look at her. They exhibit some masculine qualities. They don't let go of it. Nobody loses the identity of a man if you're a man. Even if you want to be a woman, underneath that desire, something triggers the man nature. And you see that they exhibit. Recently, I went to a community and I saw two of them fighting. One is Kojo Besia. The other one is Ajua Besia. Now, in the fight, it got to a point, I forgot to video that scene. You could see that the Kojo Besia now tapped into the well of the man in him here. And the next thing we realized, the Ajua Besia was on the ground, receiving Kojo punches. So a man never loses that thing that makes him feel. Listen to me, women. Stop. The problem is this Beijing, whatever thing that came that men and women are equal. I am saying it. Men and women are not equal. Women have their level, men have their level. Women have a role to play and men have a role to play.
so men are built in nature to. So should should the woman keep, forgiving up to how many?
I like this, our daughter's question. First, Carol says, Mommy, please ask Daddy why men find it difficult to forgive his wife or woman. Carol,
Yes,
I will
yes.
answer you.
I was going to ask that.
And then the next one, Mabena says, Daddy, please, would Kofi Aduma or the men endure if the narrative was opposite?
different. That's
It
right. I
cannot
was
be
going-
opposite.
Ah.
We are men.
What are you talking about?
Now, you see, let's stop the hypocrisy.
So you are a man, so you can treat the woman anyhow.
No.
She should
You
receive.
see,
She should receive.
This is where women always get it wrong. Let me show you something. Can I break it down here?
Please do.
Now, we are gradually shifting everything on the men. So men have become so vulnerable and so unprotected. Because when a woman slaps a man, they say, oh no, it's okay. But let a woman insult the man to the doormat and to the rag. Oh, she's a woman, leave her. You are attacking his ego. And they say, leave her. There are three things men need to know. And there are three things women need to know.
Please go ahead. We want to learn.
Men were made as the raw material. Women are the refined product. So if women fail to respect the raw material out of which they were refined, men end up regretting availing themselves to have a refined, beautiful thing like you come out of it. I am being down to earth without any hypocritical thing. You gave her money to look the way she's looking. Then she ends up talking to you anyhow, insulting you. How will you feel?
No, I don't feel right.
So after my rib forming you, he said
So after your rape forming me,
to make me
to make you.
Meaning, out of your formation, you will see my weakness.
So the problem, what I'm not getting the answer is that, is marriage all about endurance? Somebody asked, Gifty Quarter asked, is marriage all about endurance from the woman?
What is marriage then?
Wow.
That is what the women, marriage is about endurance from the women and love from the men. Submission means endure. Because there are things they will do to you that under normal circumstances you wouldn't tolerate. But because you are to submit, you what? Endure. So submission, the right word is endurance. But for men not to abuse it, we say submit.
I see.
We fight. But then on the way, Kafui.
You and who fight?
Me and you.
I don't know about that.
Or don't we fight?
I don't know about that.
So what do we do?
I don't know about that.
But then I will call you on the way and say, Kaf, my banku came on the floor. In your anger, you say you. By the time I will get home, and it is amazing the way you will frown, but still submit. What are you doing? You are enduring. Then I also become the man. Hello. To then do the right.
What's the right?
By opening my wallet. And giving you a tap. And sometimes I'll say, thank you, my dear. Don't I?
So today, please open your wallet and...
Why? Have I offended you today?
Yes, you have.
What did I do?
You have really, really offended me.
When was that?
So, right now.
Please, viewers, I don't know my sin. My lawyers, please get ready.
Somebody, Annie Ayete say, in reverse, Daddy, do you think the men can take the medicine they dish out to the women?
Somebody said they wish we can open phone lines. Yes, we will open the phone lines. Write it down and we'll tell you when to call. 0244 67 4347. 0244 67. Don't call now. Stop it. Don't call now. I said we will tell you when to call. 0244 67 4347.
So the medicine, the men dish out to the women, we should always be at the receiving end. That is.
You are not getting me. When women endure, men love automatically.
This one,
It is automatic.
This one.
Now let me ask the men. Now men, please talk to me. Somebody says when Jesus went to the temple and saw that the people were trading there, he got angry and whipped them. He didn't ignore them and say he was enduring. No, we are not talking about this kind of endurance. The Bible will preach, you know.
Your daughter Naile Manfo says, would it have been same if Kofi's story was the other way around?
You don't get it. That is why
we can't get it. Oh, please.
Listen,
that's
then
what this
change
one.
to be a man.
We can't get it.
You
So
see, what you need to know, if you are a woman, learn and acquire the skill of being a woman.
So you take us to the altar. You
I
make
like
a
the way
vow.
you said we did what?
You take us to the altar.
Who took you to the altar?
You took us to the
Carry
altar.
on.
You made a vow to us
That
you will know no other woman except us. You will love us. You will treat us right. Then there are many other women, impregnating women here and there, and we have to endure.
just when you told your son, Kweku, don't play this football with this boy.
What?
Wait.
Okay, I'm waiting.
You are coming from the market and there was Kweku. Not only did he play ball with the boy you want him not to play with, but he also has scratches on the feet and he is bleeding. What do you do?
I'll nurse the wound.
Do you reject Kweku?
No.
Thank you. I'm your first Kweku.
Somebody talk me Mariram Ganyo one.
Togbi. Ponumansi.
Please, I disagree. We are making look like the women need the marriage more.
No.
Daddy,
Togbi,
please.
Togbi, you didn't get me right.
Let's stop being defensive towards our gender.
No,
Togbi, I like you.
I know
like
where
you
Togbi
already.
is coming from. And most of the times you get such comments from those who were raised by single parents.
Really?
Yes.
No.
But let me tell you, Togbi, we are not talking about men maltreating women. But we are talking about how men should relate to women and what women should also do in reciprocation.
Okay.
God never made mistake in saying that women should submit. That was the first thing that came. And then after submission comes loving. Am I right? Is that now the Bible is not a book of confusion. He says, women, submit.
So does submission mean total foolishness?
No. You see, you are always finding something that is not the content of the submission God spoke about.
But please,
Wait a minute.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
Now, let's go into
you to
scripture
know
now.
that.
We are Christians. If women had submitted, Eve would have sought permission from Adam before tasting the apple. God knows why he says something. If there was submission, she would have gone to Adam, my husband, somebody is forcing me to eat this. Should I? That is submission. And because of that danger, God brings in the clause that you should submit. Hello? Let's not use modern principles.
And men love.
If he hadn't loved, he wouldn't have taken the apple with you.
If he loves me, he will not do what he's doing. If you love somebody, you will not put the person in a position where the person will be hurting.
And love put Jesus on the cross.
Yeah, he was paying a price for us.
And what do you call that?
It's a love.
Thank you.
It's a love.
But
that is not husband and...
So, Togby, as I was saying, we are not defending the men. We are opening the eyes of the women to preserve them. Look at the way Christian marriages are breaking. And I will say it as it. Do you see Islamic marriages breaking that way? And what they endure, I was once a Muslim, what they endure cannot be compared. It is nothing compared to what Christian women go through. Because Christian women, they don't even see half of what our sisters and brothers in the other faith also go through. But you know, they have been brought up to understand the principle of marriage. If you agree to get into it, then be prepared. We are using modern doctrines and legal things, and Christian marriages are collapsing. Every man is looking for a submissive woman.
Hey. Togby
Togby is back again.
This Togby, please, when we finish, DM me, I'll buy you chocolate. Seriously.
No, Togby, I am not saying your parents are separated. Though. You see, you were not listening. Togby, please don't be anxious to defend. Just listen, then you would have a positive thing. I didn't say your parents are not.
Oh, he said that.
I am, yeah. He said you are wrong. My parents are still married and together. Let's not justify our wrong. You see, Togby, you are getting it also too wrong. If you listen to our discourse, you would rather contribute positively. Nobody here said your parents are not. I said most of the times. I used to talk that way because I was raised by a woman. But when I began to do research in scripture, I realized that most of children that were raised by single parents as women, the mothers, most of them refused the father's access to the children, and they told the children the different side of the story. Look, there are many things that we will be discussing here, and we'll be bringing things out. Like I told you, this is the only platform we will say it as it is to help everybody.
Coco,
so please,
Coco
I am
say
proud
something.
of your parents.
Coco Kansi said something. So, Daddy, you mean it's good for a man to do anything they want because it says that women should submit?
Any man who does anything is anybody. He is not a man. So the anything there disqualifies him as a man.
Okay.
And men, M-A-N, simply means manage all nonsense. Those who say it is morning, afternoon, and night, it is them. But I'm saying M-A-N simply means manage all nonsense. So you are the garbage. The woman is the refined part of you.
So let me say this straight. I get a lot of women coming to me, and many women are dying in silence because of these things that we must submit. A woman must submit to be in your marriage. Take whatever. Forgive up to 1,000 times, and they are there and they are forgiving.
Hold on, let me answer Togby. He says, "Sir, please. A lot of women are submissive, yet their men are cheating." Such kinds of messages seeks to justify the wrong the men are doing. The Muslim women are still there because they fear their husbands will get other wives because they are religious. The religion permits them. Even, you see, you didn't listen, Togbe. This statement alone you made about the Muslims, you didn't listen. But let me clarify something to you. When a man cheats, it is wrong. Are you hearing me? It is wrong. But every hungry baby will take the food provided unto him. Cheating is not justified at all. It is not. So don't make it sound like we are saying cheating is right, Togbe. So I would want you to rewrite what you've written. Else somebody will read it but not listen to what I'm saying now. Nobody here is saying cheating is right. Are you hearing me? And Togbe, you cannot tell me you have never sinned before. You cannot tell me if you are married. You cannot tell me you've not done anything wrong to your wife before. You might have. So are you also justifying what you've done? What we are doing here is laying everything bare so that everybody who finds him or herself in, you see, let us stop presenting things. Let's question the status quo and stop the hypocrisy. When you read Bible and you don't get understanding from the Spirit, you become a robotic Christian. You can't transform. You conform. So we need to ask the Holy Spirit. Let me tell you, once upon a time, God had to be a student to understand life on earth. So if you take it and you go by that way without the revelation, you will end up losing the understanding. So once again, Togbe, please come again.
Okay, so Annie Ayeti, let's not dwell on Togbe anymore.
He says, Daddy, so what if you can't endure anymore? My darling, love yourself before you can love somebody else. Never love anybody more than yourself. You get it? You get it? If you don't get it.
Annie Ayete says, Daddy, I think men are gravely misbehaving because they are capitalizing on this submission part of the women.
And I think women are taking advantage of the men. Every man is weak. So help us.
Today I'm not enjoying you at all.
You played the devil's advocate for 5 days. I am playing his advocate for just 1 day, and you are sweating.
No, I'm
Please
not.
don't bash me with this. I'm also playing the devil's advocate because we have a lot of men out there with the mentality I am presenting.
Yeah.
So how do you handle such mentality? That is all I am trying to do. So
tell us.
I said on this platform, we are not robots.
Okay.
Can I say it again?
Yeah.
That is why Kofi's program goes far. Most of the things he presents, they are not recorded. They are spontaneous. He gets there live on air. So things happen and you can find yourself in the situation. It has happened to you before.
Okay, you have said so much, but let me bring you back to this. So to the man or to the African man or to the Christian man, a wife material is one that can endure the excesses.
Not the one that can endure. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about an African marriage or a Christian marriage?
I said a Christian man. I said African. I said Christian.
Okay.
And I said to that man, because I was saying that the comments, most of the men were, wishing to get a wife like that. And most of the women feels that they can't endure that.
You remember what I told you earlier? We are your babies. Help us become the men you want us to be.
How many men will allow their wives to make them the men they want to be? Because that ego, that pride will not allow. Their friends will tell them, you are too this, you are allowing your wife to control you. So they do not listen to their wives.
When we married, I listened to friends like that. And I shifted.
Yeah.
I saw the results. And I reprogrammed. Did you quit?
It's about you and I today. We are not talking about you and I
No,
today.
I'm using us to let them know it is possible. Because one, in the viewers, now let me tell you.
So seriously,
in the first place, I am not coming from the tribe she would love to marry. I didn't look like the class.
I like a comment here. I give to God bless you. Abneshira, God bless you. She said, Mommy, then just like Abigail, we'll end up in David's home because we had Nabal for a husband. We can't die for nothing.
Who said that?
Gifty Quote.
Hey,
Please come to church today. I'll give you chocolates.
Kwako,
Kwale.
Kwale, she's already down. Now listen to me. You can't have phone-ins. In fact, the number is here. Bring the phone here. We will pick it and put the microphone at the speaker. The number, please call. Start calling. They say we can't. I insist. I am the HNI, the head nigger in charge. Bring the phone. Look, we are having phone-ins. 0244 67
This is so interesting.
4347. Can you bring the phone here right now? 0244 67 4347.
Wow. This is interesting. Please, are you
Abna Nyameba Opoku says, Daddy is speaking for a section of men, but the majority and the reality is beyond that small section. That is why I said, Mommy has always played the devil's advocate. So today, I am sounding like those queer and weird men with that kind of mentality. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Because there are some men out there who will also sound. Hey, somebody also said, Daddy, not all men can reprogram. They are the robot ones.
Yeah, so they cannot, some.
I really am enjoying this. Ania Ite says, it looks like Daddy is for the men and Mommy is on the women's side. Yes,
Yeah, I'm a feminist and I love that. So are you here with us?
I'm here with you.
Yes, I was saying that I read a comment to
Bring
you.
the phone. Now let me tell you this before Mommy reads her comment. Let me tell you this. Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. The beauty of every marriage, the way a marriage will last depends on how friendly you are. Are you friends? Build your marriage. Let the foundation of the marriage be on friendship. Be friends first. Be friends first. Now go ahead.
No, my problem is that the fact that we must endure. But when Bible says a man should love the wife, you protect her peace of mind. You protect her from harm. You don't put her in harm's way.
Yes.
You treat her like you treat your daughter.
Yes.
You don't put her in a place that her mental health will go overboard.
Okay.
A lot of people, like I said from the beginning, last Saturday I hosted a program, we're talking about mental health. A lot of people have had mental health mental challenges because of marriage and relationship. I went out with a daughter and she was telling me about her experience, what she had to go through, and she stood in the middle of the street for a car to knock her because of hurt, because of pain, and she could not forgive. So if you love me, you treat me right. If you love me, my mental health will be your number one priority.
Can I talk for the men?
Please do.
Do you have any idea the number of men who are going through so much, but because society says Bemansu, Nufo, so can you imagine a man standing out there and saying, my wife has been beating me? Can you imagine standing out there? Look, some women, can we face facts here? We live in a society that you just don't want us to receive phone calls, so you will time us. We live in a society that women are favored over men. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Let me stand with you at the reception of a company, let the chief executive officer pass and see who he will attend to first.
Because they are attracted to beautiful things.
Whether the man is qualified, because what?
They are attracted to
Are you
beautiful
telling me men look ugly?
No. You were created.
And you were
formed
from
the man, refined,
from the creation.
Refined material.
You were in us.
Improved version of a man.
The inside of a fruit looks better than the outside.
Improved version.
You
are the outmoded version. We are the
so as I
version.
was saying, you see, when men becomes vulnerable, indiscipline becomes the order of the day.
If men become vulnerable, indiscipline, can you please break it down?
What it simply means is that when men are denied what they deserve in society, all because they are men,
okay,
they become indisciplined.
Okay.
When demand goes beyond ability, indiscipline will become the order of the day.
Yeah.
No, let's fake. Bekonie we yadam behato neke. Bekonie we ko bilesumo o ha ko leshikapo e ba chi banku e ba fe no ko te obaye. Mene ko bilesumo o chon ECG. O cho Ghana Waterworks. O cho landlord o ba pay rent. You do all this. So when you take them through all this, do you think the gentleman who married the lady by giving just a ring and a Bible will misbehave?
No.
Thank you. You've become burdensome.
You know why? Let me also talk for my women.
Don't let your daughters think what they are saying is true.
No, I'm not saying that. But the thing is that the truth is that sometimes most of the men, you will help them. A lady,
don't go far. A lady made a video. And she said, will you put the camera on me? A lady made a statement and she said, when a man is poor and a woman is with him, when the man makes it and begins to misbehave, then the woman will go like,
good.
Now, can I say this? And you wale keshika. Allo no mimbeni ebenoko e okele you obonios.
My international audience, please.
Okay, now you say, I have lived with him when he didn't have anything. I have helped him and done everything for him. Today he's broken through and he doesn't even notice me. Can I ask you a question? Did you help him with money? What did you help him with? Or because he was sleeping with you, or you were sleeping with each other, you call that help? Women, let me help you. Stop thinking because a man took you to bed, or you took a man to bed, or you went to bed together, it is a help.
Please, let me come in. Some people, it's not just sleeping. Some did not sleep.
I didn't finish. You didn't wait for me to finish. So I am talking about if you have helped him financially. Some have educated the men.
Financially,
with their money from
them.
Makola.
Yes.
And now that they are educated, they are looking for 6-inch high heel women to go out.
How about
Such men see their end. Simple. I know at least 3 that they are now drunkards for being ungrateful. And I know, oh, this man, he is a marriage counselor. Openi Kojochre. He educated the wife. Are they still together?
Yeah.
Thank you. When a man does it, it is his responsibility. When the woman does it, it is not. Yet you are saying we are equal.
We are helpmates. We are not meat rich. So, Debbie, your daughter Debbie said, Mommy, I thought I was going to go mad with it. She shared something with me about her relationship.
Yeah.
And she was almost, you know. So, it's good for us to submit. It's a woman's place to submit. I entreat all women. It is our place to submit to our husbands because that's the order God gave us. It was an order from heaven. But men too, you are, instructed, ordered to love us. So let the love come. Submit. We have heard it and we have heard it enough. Let us see the love. Don't tell me you love me. Show me you love me.
Thank you. We will show you. Now, now listen carefully. Listen. Proverbs 31. When you look at the Bible carefully, God is very, very concerned about women's attitude in marriage. You check your Bible from Genesis through Revelation. There is so much said to women about marriage. Read it.
Somebody, Nakomle said, and one thing too, somebody said this is not a stone age. And he said this is a new era. We are
then
in.
Enjoy the new treatment and the new divorce.
He said,
no, wait. You see, you are saying this is a new era with an old Bible. Unless you are not a Christian. And that is the problem of the church today. So when somebody comes to church poor and the person becomes rich, the standard of the church changes in his sight, because Christianity have accepted new era, not the old God. And God hasn't changed. So why are we changing his principles to suit us? No matter how rich a Muslim is, so far as it is a mosque, he will go in there and pray. Let a Christian who is a Supreme Court judge go to a wooden church, clap and dance. Is it possible? No. We should wrap up. This is my producer. Okay. Proverbs 31.
Okay, so.
An excellent wife, who can find? Now this is the description. She is far more precious than jewels. Her heart, the heart of her husband, trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. J and Nihao hands.
You're reading from where?
Proverbs 31.
From where?
I'm in the ESV.
Did you read from 1?
Yes, I read from 1.
Okay, I was here. So, because there is a portion that the men also do something.
Okay.
Let me also look for it. And
the
we'll
words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him.
Okay. So,
what are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my wood? What are you doing, son of my vows? Do not give your strength to women. Oh, relax. Do not give your strength to women. But I know he's not going to marry a man. Your ways to those who destroy kings.
That's right.
It is not for kings. Oh, Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine. Or for rulers to take strong drink. Meaning, if you are a king or a pastor or a church leader, no talk. You.
Different level.
Lest they drink and forget what has been decreed.
Okay.
And pervert the rights of all the afflicted. 6. Give strong drink to one who wants to perish. And wine to those in bitter distress. Let them drink and forget their poverty. And remember their misery no more.
Okay.
Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy.
That's right.
So there were 3 things said there about the men and unto the men.
Yes.
Now, when you come to the 10, let's count.
Okay.
An excellent wife who can find. Are you still saying we should wrap up?
Yes.
She on a nation, yeah, no, yes.
No.
She
No.
is far more.
No, I was going to, when you finish.
Well, viewers, we want to thank you very much for joining us today. I know you've really enjoyed
We'll
it.
continue tomorrow.
My name is Abraham Lamptey. That's Mama G for you.
We'll continue
She's
tomorrow.
trying to get on me, but you can see how calm
You are calm.
I've been today.
See,
Praise the
viewers,
Lord.
I hope you
And,
know who the calm one is.
Please, let's have the TV sets. And Believers TV will always give you things as it is, not as we imagine or we present it to be, knowing very well it is not true. God bless you. 5:30, we are almost through. 6 sharp, we are still fasting and praying. God bless you.
Thank you for being with us on Time with Mommy and Daddy. We are going to continue tomorrow, and it's going to get hotter and better than today. I want you to send in your comments, your questions, and it's been interesting. If we said something that got you angry, if we said something that didn't sit right with you, please forgive us. We are talking about forgiveness. You can just stick to your point clearly without hurt or without bitterness. So please send in your comments, send in your questions. We'll be glad. Our production team are very proactive. They will write it down, and we
proactive. They keep cautioning, telling me time is up, wrap up. Look at their faces.
We'll discuss.
I will mention your names tomorrow.
We'll discuss it. Thank you so much for being with us. Tuning in tomorrow, 4 p.m. on the dot. Tell somebody, invite somebody. It's getting hotter. It's getting beautiful. We are repeating forgiveness in relationship and marriage tomorrow, and we'll see you. Thank you. I love you. My name is Gloria Kafui Lamptey, and we've been here with
Lamptey.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a blessed evening, and join us in prayer. See you.
We give you glory. They that rise up against, oh Lord, many are they that say, oh me, there's no help for him, he can bow down, oh Lord, you are a shield. Can I prophesy to you? Your marriage is settled. Your business is settled. Your academics is settled. Your life is settled. Your health is settled.